In this video, I'll be showing you common vulnerabilities in Windows machines and even an exploit as well. And I'll be showing you how CyberGoose can deal with these issues. So let's get into it. First thing I'm going to do is, of course, log into my machine. Now, before I log in, note that my password is a very weak one. I just chose some random guy's name. In this case, I chose Robert. And that's a very weak password, but for now, let's just let that be. Then I'm going to open our CyberGoose client right here. So click yes so it can run as admin. And for our first two requirements, they deal with password restrictions and password reset. So a while ago it said both passwords max age and password history list is not ensured. So if we go here, it says all password policies are not ensured. It's basically saying that your password is weak. And now it says all password policies are ensured. Please restart your computer for the changes to take effect. Basically, these two requirements deal with the strength of your password. So I'm going to go ahead and restart this. All right, so let me try logging in and see what's going to happen here. There. Now it's telling me that my organization requires me to change my PIN. So I'm going to click OK, and now it's going to force me to make an even stronger PIN with these requirements. So I'm going to go ahead and use... So as we can see, the password I chose this time is testing at 2023. So we can see that there's a capital letter, there's a special character, and there are digits as well. And it's also more than 8 characters long. So this is a relatively strong password. Let's see if it gets accepted. Boom, it got accepted. So that right there was the first two requirements, dealing with password strengths. Now that we're done talking about the first two requirements, which were about passwords, we can now jump to the third requirement, which is about event logs. Now, before I start talking about this requirement, I'm going to talk about event logs first. Here's an example of how security logs work. First, we have to take note of the time. It's currently 1:12 in the afternoon. And I'm going to go ahead and put the wrong password. I'm just going to say that PIN was incorrect. Then I'm going to put the right password, and now I could get in. Now, if we view the event logger, specifically the security logs in Event Viewer, we can see that there is an event that's a bit different from all the other events. And it happened at 1:12 in the afternoon, and its keyword is audit failure, meaning at some point in time, there was a failed login on the computer. So as an attacker, one of the things you want to do while attacking is to disable these event logs, especially the security logs. There is a vulnerability in Windows that allows you to forcefully disable these logs, and I'm about to show you that. All right, so now that we're in our Windows machine, let's check our event viewer. Let's see. All right, let's go here. Boom. You got no application logs, no security logs, no setup logs, no system logs, no forwarded event logs. And with your event logs disabled, it basically becomes really hard to investigate if this machine did get hacked or not. So what CyberGoose does is that it fixes that issue for us. Let's go to event logs. It says that the initial status is that the Windows log is disabled, and there, current status, Windows log is now enabled. So it just got fixed right there. And if we go to event viewer, the change is not immediate. If you go to Windows logs, they are still not there. But this time, we can restart it. We can restart our machine, and see that they should be back. Those event logs should be back by the time the machine boots up again. So now we go to our event viewer and see if the event logs are now there. They should be there, and boom, they are back. So basically what our CyberGoose EDR just did is that it re-enabled the security logs even though they were disabled at first. Now for our fourth feature, we have initialization policies. So basically what this feature does is that it makes sure that when this computer boots up or turns on, it turns on with the secure boot feature. So secure boot is basically a security feature in Windows that helps ensure that the system boots with only the software that it trusts. This requirement changes things down in the hardware level, so unfortunately there really isn't any way to provide a demonstration of this making a difference in the computer. Our fifth feature is about auto updates. So this is a very simple feature of our EDR. Basically what this does is that it just makes sure that your Windows has auto updates turned on. And the reason why we want to turn these auto updates on is because, well, every update for Windows comes with a new security feature, and the more we update it, the more sure we are that our machine is security compliant. Now, again, since there are no updates to do, we also cannot provide a demonstration for this requirement as well. The sixth feature is called system privileges. I say it's a bit different from the others because this requirement is aimed at environments like computer labs, where there are a bunch of computers with at least one user account each, and there is one computer with admin rights that has power over all the other computers in the lab. Privilege escalation attacks involve user accounts turning themselves into admins so they can mess with the other computers in their network. What system privileges does is that it prevents these kinds of attacks by making sure that the user account stays as a user account and has no admin rights. However, my computer isn't part of such a topology or a network, so this feature really doesn't change a lot in my machine. Now for our last two features, we have installation restriction and firewall and real-time protection state. I'm going to be doing one huge demo that covers these two features at once, and I'm going to be explaining along the way. So before I'll do that, I'm going to go ahead and make my machine as vulnerable as possible. I'm going to start with turning the firewalls off. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn my real-time protection off. That's basically my antivirus right there. Right? So I'm going to minimize this, and then I'm going to go to a Google Drive of mine. So in this Google Drive, I have files that I want to test against my CyberGoose or our CyberGoose EDR. And one of the files is this file right here, revshell.exe. And basically it's a virus. If you run this application on your machine, then whoever sent you this virus is going to have full, unrestricted, real-time access to all the files in your machine. So for the sake of this demo, I'm going to go ahead and download it. And straight from the bat, you see that even Google Drive thinks that this file is suspicious. I'm going to go ahead and go to our downloads folder. And see, this right here is the application that we just downloaded. And I'm going to click it, and now it's running in my background. And I'm not going to know it, but the hacker already has complete access and control over this machine that I'm using. So, how is CyberGoose going to deal with this? Let's open CyberGoose, open this, and one of the first things we should look at is the installation restrictions. So basically this feature scours our downloads and looks for potentially dangerous files there. And one of them, of course, is our reverse shell executable. Now for our last feature, which is firewall and real-time protection state, it says that our initial status was that our firewalls were off, and now our current status is that our firewalls are now on, and our real-time monitoring, which is our antivirus, is now also on. So let's go back here and try running it again. See if anything happens. Uh-oh. Windows is now stopping us from running this virus on our machine. That's something good. And let me just close this and open it. Our real-time protection is now turned on. We didn't switch that. It just, CyberGoose switched it for us. And if we go to our firewalls as well, remember I turned all of them off a while ago? Now they're all on. And go back to my downloads folder. See? Check this out. The file that we just downloaded is now gone. We did not delete it. We did not do anything about it. CyberGoose basically set our computer up to delete it because it knew that it was a dangerous file. So that's how our last two requirements work. And of course, if we go back to installation restrictions, we can see that the reverse shell executable is no longer here. So that right there was our presentation and demonstration of our CyberGoose EDR. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned a lot. Thank you for watching.